Welcome back to Restore Thrive, guys. Dr. J here, Double D, one of my favorite coaches. What we're going to work on today is step downs. So you guys have probably heard us, if you've seen us in person, watch this YouTube channel, talk about sitting back for your hips, keeping your shins vertical, squats, deadlifts, things like that. All good things. However, there is a time and a place to allow our knee to come forward over our toes. We do that in sport sometimes. We do that when we step down off of steps. That is a quad dominant thing. And sometimes we just need to train our quads and build some endurance so the knee can tolerate that so that you don't have pain with that activity. So we're gonna work on that. Now, if you were to step down off a step, you are high. That's a lot of load for the leg that you are bending. So there's a way that we can do this to just start more basic from the floor. So if you can grab your tool here, you can use a broom, you can use anything that's somewhat stable, you can use your door frame if you want to. I'm gonna have Dennis just hold on to our little stick here. And what he's gonna do, let's say he's working his right leg, so that way you can see the leg that's bent. He's gonna step forward slightly, or not step forward, sorry. Bend through his right leg and kind of reach with his heel on the opposite side. Good, and come back up. And then do several of those for me, take a break when you need to. Couple things that we are looking for. First of all, I want his foot to be straight. And you are actually a little bit turned out. So I'm gonna have you get, sorry, there you go, perfect. So you want your feet to be nice and straight. When he bends, I'm looking to make sure that his kneecap is coming right over the middle of his foot. So it shouldn't be diving in. And if you want to come around to the front, Dennis, I'm going to have you do this wrong, where you just kind of dive your knee in. Terrible position for the knee and for the hip. It doesn't feel good. And you don't have knee pain, right? So if you are seeing us for knee pain, you're going to really not feel great with that. So we use good technique immediately. People are like, oh, well, I feel so much better because we were actually loading correctly, which puts less stress on our joints. So foot straight, kneecap right over the middle of the foot when you bend. He is also bending just a little bit at his hip. And we want to do that because we will see people arch their back and they'll have back pain with this. So it is okay to unlock the hip a little bit. We are primarily bending at the knee. That is fine. We should feel this right through the front of the quad. That is the primary muscle group that we are working with this. So if you are not feeling this right here, you're not doing this right. Go ahead and do a couple more for me. He's going to hold on to something more stable now. If you need something more stable, that is fine. And notice he's not really touching the ground with his heel. We are leading with the opposite heel, but we want to make sure we're loading the leg that we're working. In this case for him, it's his right leg right now. So if we lean forward and touch down, that's way easier than having to stabilize on the right leg and touch. Very good. So ways to make this harder. We start on the ground, 3 sets of 10. We make it very simple initially when we are strength training and trying to build some endurance and strengthen that quad. We go to the step next though. So now we are on an elevated surface. If you have ways to play with this where you don't have a full-size step and you can incrementally go up, that's great. Most people don't have that. So we start on the ground. Normal size step is about 7 inches. So now he's working his left leg and he is going to reach down with his right foot. Notice he's got decent ankle range of motion. So Dennis can actually touch the ground with his opposite heel, with his right leg, without kind of tilting his pelvis or doing something funny there. So we don't want to see that. But what you're going to do is I'm a little bit limited in my ankles. So if I did this, I would not be able to touch the ground very well. I would have to just reach with the heel. Good. So go as far as you can with what your ankle can do and bend. The knee is going to come forward over the toe. This is the one time that we will say that's okay because that is what we are training. We are training that quad. So again, foot should be nice and straight on that step. The step is nice because you can look at your foot and go, with the line or the edge of the step, is my foot in line with that, parallel, or is it turned out or turned in? And then he's just gonna let that kneecap come forward right over the toe. And this is harder, right? Feel it? So your quad, perfect. Again, let that hip unlock just a little bit, but make sure that you are not dropping your pelvis. We'll see that when people are not using their quad or trying to get off of it. Come around this way so you can see. Tim, come around this way. He's doing this wrong here. Nice, horrible demonstration. We don't want to see that pelvis drop. So that's the other thing that we want to check with this one. We want to make sure that we are truly loading the leg that we are working and bending through the ankle and the knee. So guys, give this one a try at home. Let us know what you think. Any questions, leave them below or find us at restorethrive.com.